Hey everybody, your name here. And today, we're diving into a fascinating topic: countries where Americans are not allowed to travel in 2025. There are places in the world that, as of right now, American citizens are banned from visiting. So, buckle up as we explore these off-limits destinations and the reasons behind their restricted access. Our first stop is North Korea, a country shrouded in mystery and often the subject of global intrigue, often described as the Hermit Kingdom. This nation has a rich cultural heritage that is often overshadowed by its political climate. North Korea has maintained a strict policy of isolation for decades, a stance that has shaped its unique identity and way of life. This isolation is rooted in a complex history marked by the Korean War and ongoing tensions with the United States. The Korean War, which began in 1950, resulted in a division of the Korean peninsula that persists to this day. For American citizens, travel to North Korea is extremely restricted, bordering on impossible. The U.S. government has imposed stringent travel bans to ensure the safety of its citizens. The U.S. Department of State has issued a travel ban to North Korea, citing numerous safety concerns and the potential for diplomatic incidents. The primary reason for this ban is the serious risk of arrest and long-term detention of U.S. nationals. North Korea's legal system is vastly different from that of the United States, and even minor infractions can lead to severe consequences. Independent travel is virtually impossible, as the North Korean government tightly controls all aspects of tourism. Visitors are constantly monitored to ensure they adhere to the country's strict regulations. All tourists must be part of heavily monitored tour groups, which are designed to present a carefully curated image of the country. These tours often include visits to major landmarks and cultural sites, but interactions with local citizens are limited and controlled. The few Western journalists and individuals who have been granted access to North Korea have reported on the country's strict social controls. These controls extend to nearly every aspect of daily life, from the media to personal freedoms. Limited freedom of expression is a hallmark of North Korean society. The government maintains a tight grip on information, and dissent is not tolerated. Despite the risks and restrictions, there's a certain allure to the unknown that surrounds North Korea. The country's landscapes, from its mountains to its urban centers, offer a glimpse into a world that few outsiders have seen. However, the potential consequences of violating North Korean law are severe. The legal system is unforgiving, and even inadvertent offenses can lead to harsh penalties. Offending the government, whether intentionally or not, can result in severe punishment, including imprisonment and hard labor. This reality underscores the importance of understanding and respecting the country's laws and customs when visiting. Our journey now takes us to Iran, a country with a civilization dating back millennia and a story deeply intertwined with the United States. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory for Iran, citing the risk of kidnapping, arrest, and detention of U.S. citizens. Decades of mistrust, fueled by political differences and historical events, have created a deep chasm between the two nations. The Iranian government views the United States with suspicion, accusing it of meddling in regional affairs. While there are avenues for American citizens to obtain visas to visit Iran, the process is arduous and often unsuccessful. The risks associated with traveling to Iran as an American citizen are significant, with a history of detaining dual nationals and foreigners. Until relations improve, Iran remains a destination that American citizens must admire from afar. Our journey takes us now to Cuba, an island nation just 90 miles off the coast of Florida. For decades, Cuba was a forbidden fruit, separated by a chasm of political ideology and Cold War tensions. In 2014, under the Obama administration, a thaw in relations led to the reopening of the U.S. Embassy in Havana and the easing of travel restrictions. However, the Trump administration rolled back many of these policies, tightening travel restrictions. As of 2025, travel to Cuba is heavily restricted, with Americans needing to fall under one of 12 authorized categories to visit. The Biden administration has signaled a potential willingness to re-engage with Cuba, but concrete policy changes have yet to materialize. So, while Cuba might seem close, it remains a destination shrouded in political complexities. Whether the doors to this Caribbean gem will fully open remains to be seen. Our journey now takes us to Syria, a country once renowned for its ancient history and vibrant culture. Syria, with its rich tapestry of civilizations, has been a cradle of human development for millennia. From the ancient city of Aleppo, one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world, to the majestic ruins of Palmyra, Syria's historical significance is unparalleled. The country was a melting pot of diverse cultures, religions, and traditions, making it a unique and vibrant place in the Middle East. However, in recent years, Syria has become tragically synonymous with war and suffering. The once bustling markets and historic sites now lie in ruins, a stark contrast to their former glory. The civil war has left an indelible mark on the landscape and the people, transforming vibrant cities into ghost towns. Since 2011, Syria has been ravaged by a brutal civil war, a conflict that has claimed the lives of hundreds of thousands and displaced millions. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities have been uprooted. The humanitarian crisis is staggering, with countless individuals seeking refuge in neighboring countries and beyond. The impact on children has been particularly devastating, with many losing their homes, their education, and their sense of security. For American citizens, travel to Syria is strictly prohibited. The U.S. government has taken extensive measures to ensure the safety of its citizens by advising against any travel to the region. The security situation is extremely volatile, and the risks are simply too high. The U.S. Department of State has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory for Syria, citing the extremely dangerous security situation. This advisory is the highest level of travel warning, indicating that the situation is life-threatening and unpredictable. The advisory highlights the ongoing conflict, the presence of terrorist groups, and the lack of essential services as key reasons for this stringent warning. The ongoing civil war has transformed Syria into a highly volatile and dangerous environment. The infrastructure has been decimated, and basic services such as healthcare, education, and sanitation are severely lacking. The constant threat of violence and instability makes daily life a struggle for those who remain in the country. The Syrian government, led by President Bashar al-Assad, has been accused of committing war crimes, including the use of chemical weapons. These allegations have been a significant point of contention in the international community, leading to widespread condemnation and calls for accountability. The government's actions have further fueled the conflict, exacerbating the suffering of the Syrian people. The presence of terrorist organizations, including ISIS, adds another layer of complexity and danger. These groups have exploited the chaos of the civil war to gain a foothold in the region, carrying out brutal attacks and imposing their extremist ideologies on the local population. The fight against these groups has drawn in international forces, further complicating the situation. The Syrian civil war has created one of the worst humanitarian crises of our time, with millions displaced and essential services collapsed. Refugee camps are overcrowded, and resources are stretched thin. Humanitarian aid organizations are working tirelessly to provide relief, but the scale of the crisis is overwhelming. The international community continues to grapple with how best to support the Syrian people and bring an end to the conflict. For American citizens, Syria remains a no-go zone, a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of conflict. The images of destruction and the stories of suffering serve as a powerful testament to the need for peace and stability in the region. As the world watches, the hope remains that one day, Syria will rise from the ashes and reclaim its place as a beacon of history and culture. As we've seen, the world can be a complicated and ever-changing place. Political climates shift, conflicts arise, and new regulations are put into place, all of which can impact where and how we travel. It's important to stay informed and aware of these changes to ensure safe and smooth journeys. While the countries we've discussed so far represent some of the most well-known travel restrictions for Americans, they are by no means the only ones. There are numerous other destinations around the globe where travel can be challenging or even prohibited due to various reasons such as political instability, health crises, or security concerns. Turkmenistan, for example, has a long history of isolation and maintains strict control over its borders. The country is known for its stringent visa policies and limited access for foreign visitors. Travelers often face significant hurdles when attempting to enter Turkmenistan, and those who do manage to obtain a visa are subject to strict regulations and monitoring. Yemen has been embroiled in a devastating civil war since 2014, making it extremely dangerous for travelers. the ongoing conflict has led to widespread destruction, a humanitarian crisis, and severe security risks. Foreign governments, including the United States, have issued strong travel advisories against visiting Yemen due to the high risk of violence and kidnapping. Somalia has been plagued by civil war and violence for decades, with the extremist group Al-Shabaab controlling large swaths of territory. The security situation in Somalia remains highly volatile, with frequent attacks and kidnappings targeting both locals and foreigners. As a result, travel to Somalia is highly discouraged, and those who must go are advised to take extreme precautions. The Central African Republic has been ravaged by civil war and intercommunal violence, resulting in widespread displacement and human rights abuses. The security situation is precarious, with armed groups controlling large parts of the country. Travelers face significant risks, including violence, kidnapping, and disease outbreaks, making it a highly dangerous destination. These are just a few examples of the many countries around the world that have travel restrictions in place for American citizens. Each of these destinations presents unique challenges and risks that travelers must be aware of. It's crucial to research and understand the specific conditions and advisories for any country you plan to visit. It's essential for travelers to stay informed about the latest travel advisories and safety recommendations before planning any international travel. This includes checking official government websites, consulting travel advisory services, and staying updated on current events in the destination country. By doing so, travelers can make informed decisions and take necessary precautions to ensure their safety and well-being while abroad. And there you have it, a glimpse into the corners of the world where American travelers are currently restricted from venturing. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on international travel and other informative content. Remember to check out the resources in the description for the latest travel advisories from the U.S. Department of State. Stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next video.